So interviewing for jobs without much experience really requires you to sell yourself. So you want to know how I got my first data science job? Then you're in luck today, because that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. So if you've been watching my videos for a while, then you'd know that I switched from aerospace engineering to data science. But if that's news to you, then be sure to watch this video as a bit of context. So after I finished my aerospace engineering degree, I was basically unemployed for about 2 months. And that was definitely an interesting time. During this period, I was applying for data science jobs, and I was also preparing for management consulting interviews, which was going to be my backup. But ironically, I was spending more time preparing for those management consulting interviews than the data science jobs, because consulting interviews was something I had no experience in. But for data science, I had a bit of experience, having done coding before and having also graduated with a STEM degree. In terms of data science jobs, I really wanted to get into a startup. So in my final sem of university, I worked on a startup. Since then, you could say that I got the startup bug, and I really wanted to work in a dynamic and fast-paced environment with really smart people. So I couldn't really imagine myself applying for graduate programs at big corporations. So I doubled down on looking for startup-related jobs. As I began my job search, I made sure to sharpen up my resume, and if there's one thing that I learned from the consulting interview practice was the consulting resume format. The key point is to use action-driven verbs to describe your achievements, along with metrics to go with it, to quantify exactly to what extent the outcome improved as a result of your implemented solution. Let's take a look at my resume from back then, just so you can see an example of this. So when I interned at the German Space Agency, I used MATLAB to create a quality control tool for carrying out test sequences of rockets. Whilst I could have just said that, it's better to include metrics to go with it, like I've done here, and try to make your points as concise as possible while making it as punchy as possible, because the recruiter doesn't have all day to sift through your resume, as they've got piles of other resumes to look at. So you really want to try your best to grab their attention as soon as possible. Once I sorted my resume out, I jumped onto AngelList and LinkedIn to find potential startups that were hiring. And I also looked at companies like Deloitte, who had an advanced analytics team, but I decided to stick with tech companies. After browsing AngelList, I realized that at the time it was extremely US centric. So I focused on using LinkedIn as my main job search tool. Then one day when I was browsing my LinkedIn feed, I came across a hiring post by the head of data at this SaaS company, which was a customer data platform. I browsed their website and noticed that they were hiring for data analyst. They also seemed to have a great culture, and the website really gave off a vibe that a lot of smart people worked there. So to apply for the role, you had to send in a 140 character introduction. It definitely seemed a bit odd to me at first, but I really wanted that job. So I did exactly what any normal person would do and spent about an hour crafting those 140 character, and that's about 20 to 40 words. And this is what I came up with. So I sent it through, and within a day, the CTO of the company got back to me. So following that, I had around 3 rounds of interview where I got asked all types of culture fit questions and technical questions based on the projects I had previously worked on. There was no coding test, and as it was a junior position, they weren't really expecting much experience. So interviewing for jobs without much experience really requires you to sell yourself. The job landscape in general requires you to sell and market yourself very effectively, because you're going to be your best advocate. So the quicker you learn the skills, the easier your job search is going to be. And it's always very important to be genuine and confident, but that doesn't mean that you make anything up. Definitely try to draw upon your unique experience to set yourself apart from the crowd, because all tech companies want to hire interesting people. So after the 3 rounds of interview, I was pretty excited to have gotten the offer. That job really gave me the foundations into data science. As it was a small company of 50 people, I wore many hats and worked on a wide array of projects. I did mostly data engineering and back-end development along with data science, as I worked on lifetime value and churn risk models. I learned everything on the job, especially coding, after I came to realize that MATLAB is not really considered programming in the developer land. So I learned a lot about object-oriented programming in Python. So that's a summary of how I got my first job. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.